Where? Where? They say where. Yeah, I'm just gonna hop straight into it. This is just gonna be an off random stream. All I'm doing is leveling. No quests or anything. Just grinding numbers for a while. Maybe I'll swap to Deadlock if I want to be masochist for a little bit. Ghost, do you know how to play Red Mage? Do you know how to play Red Mage?
He says I am cat.
Or are you a black mage because you are a black cat? Well, you're a gray cat, but they don't have gray mages. Gandalf is not in this game. He left.
You scared him. You moved too fast.
He hates me now.
No, you just moved.
He ran away from me. He hates me. He despises me. He wishes that I was never, ever one to adopt him. It's so sad. You know, you put your heart and soul into harassing him every single day. And this is the thanks that I get.
He's standing in the doorway listening to you.
What's the matter, buddy? You want to fight? He knows that if I close the distance, I will just grab him. In fact,
He says no.
saw me stand up and instantly was like, "Oh, I'm not dealing with that bullshit."
I'm pretty sure he wants us to go play more.
Yeah, he wants some playtime. But alas, this is why we need one of those.
We got playtime this morning.
Hang on. I'm gonna text my sister. Yes. Hey, Amos.
Would she not know?
I just want to be specific. How's your sad Sunday? It's Sunday, right?
It's something.
Oh my god. How's your Sunday evening, Amos? Yar. It'd be Monday soon, but not yet. Oh my god, you know what game I just remembered existed while thinking about things to do while waiting for Q to pop? Luftrausers. Does anyone else remember Luftrausers? Last played April 2019. Oh my god, I had it so good back in 2019. Luftrausers kicked fucking ass. And I'm gonna show exactly why while we wait for all my Qs to pop. Let me see. Need full screen off. Fix my everything. You know what? I'm even gonna be careful about this. I'm even gonna capture Luftrausers instead of capturing. It's alright, work was exhausting all weekend. You know what? I understand. I get it. I've been there.
I am there.
I am. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Let me do this properly. I'm gonna make a hole. Bada bing. Bada boom. Wait, I can do this. I'm so smart and handsome. Hang on, I got this. What is the arbitrary text I have right now, actually? Oh god, this is from way back when I was doing game dev streams. Waiting for Q. Actually, you know what? DPS QQ times. And then if I click this, perfect. All right, let's see if I can remember how this game works. Actually, you know what? I do want to watch this game. Okay, I do want to turn the every volume down. If it helps, that also hurt me. Alright, that's fair. Actually, okay. So Lift Houses. Lift Houses is a game where I still have to turn the volume down. Fuck. Lift Houses, I'm closing you down because you're too goddamn loud. Lift Rousers, excuse me. Oh, it's also a game where the window is going to change every single time I boot it up. Close enough. Much more bearable. Fuck, I almost want to erase my save data. Do I? I don't know how to. Loot Houses is a game where you can pick different parts for your ship. I'm trying so hard to remember. Here we go. We're gonna go with all the most basic stuff, so I can remember how this game works. All it is you fly around and you try to shoot enemy planes and you last as long as possible. Let's go. And as you go, you get missions to unlock more random goop so that you can have different ways to last as long as you can. Let's go! Oh, I forgot about the importance of the score combo, of course. There's regenerating health as long as you're not shooting. You got enemy planes to shoot down. You got jets to shoot down. As your combo gets higher, more and more complicated enemies will start spawning. And it's a goddamn blessing of a game. If you ever want to feel absolutely sick as hell, simply boot up Blue Trousers. It's a simple motto, but it works well. We go again. Oh, I just remembered. I needed to like hold on to some of these jet planes or some of these normal planes because they're useful for extending your combo, but they like stop spawning after a certain point. So in order to get your combo as high as possible, you need to like not kill these planes so that they would still be around so that you could use them to increase your combo later in the game. But that just makes it harder because now they're following you around and you can just run into them and take a bunch of damage when you're trying to take out these dang battleships with 1 billion health. Please die. I really need you to die actually right now. Let go. I love getting 1 point. Oh, never mind. There are a couple of things trying to kill me right now, but simply do not worry about it. I'm here. I'm not in queue? Did my queue pop and I didn't notice it because I was too busy setting up loot houses? It's possible. Fuck. Okay, I can fix this by having loot houses not be on the screen, which I'm waiting for my queue to pop on. I will fix the issue. There we go. Now I'll notice when my queue pops. Did you just wow me? Oh hey, I need to kill a blimp. Where is it? Hey buddy. Oh, you see, there's kind of a lot of things shooting at me. Can I deal with you in a second? I see, you really would prefer an immediate appointment. Well, I respect your concerns, but I also kind of respect / I'm scared of your machine guns. Can we talk about this? Nope, I'm dead. Damn. That's fine. I've totally got this. Damn. Funny enough, that was still a better score than dying to the blimp, since I actually managed to get up to max combo. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, no, Jesus. Okay, I cannot have multiple ships there when a blimp shows up. We go again. We go again! Just because I fucked it up the first 4 times and fucked it up even worse that time doesn't mean I can fuck it up a 5th time. You sound silly right now. Even the idea that I could fuck this up. I'm improving at least. God, if I don't deal with some of these boats, though, they're gonna be shooting at me when I'm trying to kill the blimp, and I'm just gonna die. Oh, fuck, I thought I had enough HP to dive bomb it. Still better than what I was doing before. Having a times 30 combo does that shit. Fuck, I thought I got a plane. There we go. Oh, damn. I gotta be a little bit more spindly or else those battleship barrages are just gonna take me out in the middle of me trying to do stuff. think, but don't know, but kind of assume that I need to take out a battleship in order for a blimp to spawn. So I don't know what the spawn conditions are. It's probably score-based. No, that doesn't make sense, 'cause I'm doing much better than I did when I got the blimp to spawn. Okay, having two of you next to each other is cheating. Oh yeah, but always remember, this is a Final Fantasy XIV stream, and Q did pop. And I heard it this time. It was quiet compared to lift houses, which I keep calling lift houses for some reason. Okay, it's not the long one. Go again! For the tombstones! No! Our tank has a crappy laptop, but I believe in them! I still believe in them. They keep causing things to beep, but I don't know why they're causing things to beep. I don't know what ST5 and ST7 and ST3 means, but things certainly are beeping. Can I click on these? No. Well, I assume they're not slurs, so it's better than deadlock. Oh, those are sound effects? Wait, you can just spam sound effects in the chat? Are you telling me that I could totally just go to, like, the middle of, I don't know, Limsa Labinsa and just spam a bunch of sound effects? Because I'm going to be honest. That's pretty fucking funny. I appreciate the extra me that you gave me, buddy. They only play in certain chats? That makes sense. Otherwise, that would be awful. Oh, fuck. Is that a laser towards me? Yep. You can, you shouldn't. Yeah, we wouldn't want someone like petting a Makote for 50 messages in the middle of the Limsa Laminsa main chat, not knowing that it gets displayed for everybody to see, only for the Makote they're petting to deny knowing them. Delicious mead. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. I wonder how many times I've done this dungeon at this point, actually. Is that way to track that? Just to know how many times I've run Castrum, Meridium, and everything? How many times have I heard of Eorzea? You know, the fact that people meme that speech makes a lot more sense when I remember that I feel like I've done this 1,000 times. But there are people who have actually done it 1,000 times and had to listen to that speech over and over and over again. And, yeah, their opinions on it and memeing the lines make a lot more sense to me. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have caught it earlier. I'm just embarrassed I haven't. Damn it. How very glib of me, I know. It's like I barely even believe in Eorzea. Or I do believe in Eorzea, I don't know. I don't know the speech. I haven't actually played enough for that speech to burrow its way into my mind like a fucking worm in RFK Jr.'s brain. Man, I don't have any damage over time as a red mage. That's weird. That's a weird feeling. Samurai totally had a damage over time, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, they 100% did. Guess who's back? Back again. That goes back. Ghost. Hey, buddy. You do love me. Well, goodbye. Never mind. He bounced off of my shin, but he didn't want to stay, actually.
Trying to get you to come and
He just wants me to play with him. Actually, no. He's just kind of bored. I'm sorry, buddy. If it helps, I love you. And if it doesn't help, I still love you. I just want you to know that. Meow. It's okay, buddy. It's only Castro Meridian. Do you want attention? Can I train you to jump in my lap like Tony jumps in my lap when I have a blinky? No, I put one hand on him and he instantly was like, Father will pick me up. Run. Escape. He was right, of course, but, you know. Well, Tony seems to be affectionate. Never mind, he's jumped off my desk. Alright, I just look like a fool now. Kind of an asshole, really. God, if only this scene could be skipped. Alex, darling, I found a random phrase for you to cross-stitch. Weird hill to die on, but at least you're dead.
Oh my god, send me that. I will cross stitch it on something fun. Perhaps the quilt left.
Weird quilt to snooze on, but at least you're hunk me. I'm sorry that your man does not like you back, but like, does it have to be my problem? Kill her. The weirdest thing to me about the Red Mage, and this is very specific and doesn't matter at all, but it weirds me the fuck out how the melee 3-hit combo is 3 separate buttons that I need to combo between, but the AoE 3-hit combo is 1 button that changes between 3 different skills, which I unfortunately cannot demonstrate right now because I'm too low level to demonstrate it, but like, this, and this. That's my 3-hit, spend 50 meter, do a bunch of damage for a single target melee combo. But this button is spend a bunch of resources, do a bunch of AoE damage. But every time I hit it, it actually swaps to a different button in the combo and it actually goes through 3 attacks. And I didn't know that for the longest fucking time because it doesn't tell you. And I would like to know. That's useful information. It'd be kind of nice if the single hit combo also did that. I wonder why it doesn't. I don't imagine there's any utility in doing this before. Yeah, there's not really any utility in doing it before I normally would. So, like, what the hell? I mean, I might as well limit breaker right now, right? Oh my god, did we actually take too long because we're not doing enough damage? No, we're fine. Alright. I got a little bit scared with how many fucking attacks started hitting me. Accommodate the tank, I don't know. There we go. My old rule definitely was always accommodate the healer, but I'm kind of respecting the grind the tanks go through. Based partially off the fact of look how many are in need of tanks, let's be honest. What? Oh, I accidentally clicked the thing. There we go. You know what that means? That means it's time for another electrifying round of lift trousers, baby! Who's ready to get their ears blasted out? Let's go! Tanking is so in demand that they are... Oh shoot, I accidentally expanded the game slightly over the thing. That you simply earn for... You know, hang on, I can fix this. There are achievements you earn simply for playing tank classes that award mounts after a certain number of duties completed as playing a tank. That's weird to me, because playing a tank is fucking stressful as hell. In like a unique way to the other classes. Like, I don't get why tanking is so unpopular compared to like healing. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Because, okay, I guess it kind of makes sense that it's less popular than healing. But, like, healing is kind of nice because if I fuck up healing, I know I fucked up healing because I have the immediate feedback of somebody is dead and that is bad. Oh, fuck, there's another battleship. Like, tanking has, like, the same stress of healing, but rather than someone being dead, like, I can die as a tank and it can 100% not be my fault because the healer just got distracted or got a little bit too greedy with the DPS or something. And, like, I can understand that as a turn-off for people. Oh, I'm dead. I'm alright. There's the blimp. Oh, fuck, there's the blimp. Damn. Tanking is weird because on the one hand it's very stressful, but on the other hand, tanking is so damn easy. I mean, I don't agree that tanking is easy. Like, yes, it is the one class where, like, you can make the healer's job hell, I suppose. But like, no, it's definitely the class with the least amount of evident feedback. So I understand why people are like, tank is too easy or whatever, because the feedback that tells you that you've fucked up is very... the feedback that tells you that you're doing a good job tanking is probably the most invisible compared to other classes. I mean, I think there are ways to fix that. I think that there should be... like, interrupt as a tank skill is my favorite skill in the game. And I think it should be used way more. I think interrupt is criminally underused. And I think that other mechanics like interrupt would fit very well and very interesting in a tank's role. Like having more sort of mini games, or the like where you as a tank have to stop bosses from dealing out damage, not just, you know, hit the button so that they do less damage, does not seem inachievable in an MMO context. You know? I could totally see some more complicated mechanics being implemented to make it tank's job more interesting. Will those be interested in Final Fantasy XIV? Probably not. I kind of assume the ship has sailed on like new mechanics for fights, at least new like class specific mechanic type things. But then again, they are changing it so that there's no more damage buffs across the board. They're straight up getting away with erasing it because I saw the clip from JoeCat explaining the problem, that essentially so many classes have these buffs on, like, originally they want a bunch of different cooldown timers. So if you want to be optimal in a Savage or whatever, you needed to coordinate, like, okay, here's all our abilities. We're going to hit these at the same time so that they all stack up, so that they will stack multiplicatively, so that we actually do enough damage, blah, 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 blah. And the fan base complained about basically like, hey, it feels really bad to have like my do more damage button but not be able to hit it and like have to coordinate it and super awkward. Can you just put these all on the same timer so that they all take 2 minutes to come back online? And Final Fantasy XIV was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. That is a very reasonable request that makes sense. But now, but then a second thing happened where essentially there's specific times during like Savages and high raid fights where like, hey, this is where you do all your damage essentially, because the boss gives you an opportunity to like get a bunch of spells in and do all your combos with like high levels of focus completely uninterrupted. There's no mechanics to worry about. And they started syncing them up because the player base was like, these, you know, are off sync from where all our do a bunch of damage abilities are, which are on 2 minute cooldowns. This is kind of annoying when like there's one at 90 seconds, so we all pop, and then there's another one in like another 90 seconds, so we're not able to hit or do a bunch of damage cooldowns during the time when we're supposed to be doing all our damage. So then apparently Final Fantasy XIV started homogenizing all of its damage, so it's like, okay, all the boss fights, the like do damage now times are all going to be at around 2 minute spacings. And then the final result of that was essentially everybody going, okay, cool. But like, if we fuck up hitting or do more damage buffs at all now, like if we offset them, the knock-on effect with how long these difficult fights are is so long that hitting my damage buff like 2 seconds too late ends up in a situation where the extra damage that we would have done, like eventually I will desync from everybody so badly that the fight actually becomes impossible. because I screwed up and didn't actually hit my damage button at the right time, and the knock-on effects from that have made this fight impossible to do because I missed my timing in the first, like, 70 seconds of the match. And that is what led Final Fantasy XIV to essentially going like, okay, in order to get rid of this, the only system that we really can do is we're getting rid of all the damage buff spells. Apparently, when the next expansion comes out, they're going back and they're just being like, all these like 2-minute spells that like increase your damage for like a certain amount of time, we're just nuking that. Paladin is gonna have a Dark Souls parry mechanic in Evercold. Well, I love being light and smart, and I also love it when you're here. Hi, Bryce. It being only on Paladin makes me mildly curious / confused. Like, that seems like the type of thing that you would have be a tank class level thing, much like Interrupt is, but we'll see how it goes. How are you, Bryce? I think I already said that, but I'm just excited to hear. What level am I? Oh god, I'm level 50. I was wondering what was going on with using my abilities and stuff. Bryce showing up also reminded me to eat food. Thank you, Bryce. Whee! Oh, please tell me that's not the healer. Nope. Alright, it's just a DPS. Fuck, did I just accidentally... No, I'm not. Thank God I ate food. Jolt 2? Oh my god. Paladin was the only tank they allowed anything for. We simply don't know anything. Oh, they was the only tank they showed anything for. Okay. Yeah, the idea of a parry mechanic mildly confuses / bewilders me. Like, as a fix for this type of thing. I would have expected something much more along the lines of, I need to turn my settings down. No one cares. You know what? Someone might care. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't like the big crocodile man. He concerns me. Ah, I've got to click ignore on the loot. Oh fuck, how did my spell get interrupted? I must have moved. Aside from the official classification between main tanks and off tanks, that's weird to me. Because there's so many fights. Like, when we did that extreme of, what was it, the Omega weapon? We had to swap who was tanking because it applied a buff to us that made you take more damage. So, if there's an official classification between main tank and off tank, what does that mean for bosses that apply debuffs to you that force you to swap who's tanking? Please tell me I took down the lift rise. Okay, I took down the lift risers thing. I got really nervous for a second. I still don't actually really know how they solve the problem of, hey, how do we give a class 10 more levels without making it so complex that we're like actually stretching past the point of human ability? Oh fuck, I thought they were done. Fuck. I guess the answer that is very easily available to them is just to make the class at lower levels less complicated, but yeah, that feels like a sleight of hand trick. Those classes don't gain more than maybe one button per expansion. I mean, I somewhat believe you, but like, I mean, like, I guess they always have the ability to rework classes and stuff. I say that in a monk main shudders in fear. Sup? Let's see. What's next? I need to do an alliance raid and a normal raid. Kind of sounds like a split between pure healers and barrier healers. Either can do fine, but in the highest of high tier stuff, it might actually matter. Let's do a normal raid first. Never mind, 13-minute queue time. Let's do an alliance raid. Alright. We're out of meat.
I just been drinking.
Thank you, I'm good. I love you. Oh, fuck. That's two of them. That's so cheating. Not because it's hard, just because it takes fucking forever. And there was a boat in the middle of them. That's funny. I strongly appreciate something that I think this game does, where if you damage an enemy, all enemies within the hitbox of that enemy also get damaged. So I can fight on those two battleships and not have to worry about killing one of them and then killing the other one. Just forgot to swap the tank before that normal Q time, so I'll probably be close to the instant next attempt. That makes some sense. I appreciate you. You make this much easier for me. I simply wish to never take that for granted. Just gonna hang out. Give everyone a second to run into me and die. The trick of battleships is actually turning before, like, they shoot in front of you, like they predict where you're going, and sometimes I'm just a little bit too greedy with how many shots I want to get off into them because they take so long to die. And so that frontal tracking does actually get the perfect beat on me. Hey Tony, what's up, buddy? Do you want affection? Kitty break. He demands love. He will get it. Please don't run up on my monitors and fuck up the angle that they're at. No, stop that. You're not allowed. Illegal. You're a criminal. Criminal man, taking up all my light. Look at this. Tony, I can't deal with you right now. My Q popped. Fuck. How do I make this not make any noise? I can't. Oh, goodbye, lift trousers.
What, are my pets not good enough for you, you asshole?
Pets, plural. Ghost is my pet.
No, I meant pets.
Oh.
As in petting more than once.
Tony?
When he says not good enough, you are apparently the superior petter. So he's probably mad at me for giving him his medicine today.
No, he doesn't mind giving his medicine.
When you do it.
What are you doing that's so wrong then, dickhead?
I don't know.
Oh my god, our Q popped and someone didn't even accept it. What a jerk. A party member is withdrawn from the duty. Not the duty. Tony, the duty. Not
Ghost is like, what? I hear Tony getting pet. I am now here. Oh,
Ghost!
no. You pointed me out. How could you?
I'll give you love. I love you.
He's guarding us.
he is waiting. He's hoping that if we get up, that we will have to. What the fuck are you? I'm not gonna worry about it.
What am I doing?
Alex likes Cash Cleaner Simulator. It is a game. It is a bad game for when you want to feel bad.
I feel great.
Some gosh darn tank feeling way too confident with their instant Q privilege right now. Oh my god. I've never had a Q failed like 3 times in a row before, actually. What the heck? What to heck? Am I not in alliance? Oh, there we go. You're not in alliance until... Yes, someone left? What? Why does everyone keep leaving?
'Cause fuck you.
But I like me.
I don't know, man.
Well, no one from Alliance B left, because Alliance B is cool. Now all I have to do is worry about remembering the mechanics in this raid, which is not going to be the easiest thing for me to do, based off the fact that I never learned the mechanics in this raid. I know that a dog pukes at some point, and that you want to be hit by the puke, but not everybody. So that's something to watch out for. Keep an eye out for that. I felt ghost. Why do you keep...
Stop pointing him out.
He keeps rubbing against my shins, and then as soon as I'm like, ah yes, let me give you affection, he darts away!
He does not want you to give him affection. He wants to have affection and he wants to give affection, but he does not want you to give him affection. It's too much.
He's really tearing me apart right now.
I want space.
Oh god, I don't remember how the fuck this works. I'm just gonna stand next to Bryce and hope that that's good enough. Do I have... No, I don't have any status effects or anything from that. Boy, I did just barely manage to step out of the way of that. But where's Bryce? I don't know where I'm supposed to stand. Damage by sullen gazes increase. Fuck. Well, I hope I was on the right side. Apparently I was. Good job, me. Doom? I've been hit by Doom. I suppose I'm probably supposed to stand in the thing to cleanse my Doom affliction, but I didn't. Okay, I can probably just return to the starting point at this point. Alas. Hydra, all you really need to know is don't get cleaved. You got it, boss. I'm gonna get cleaved. God, I'm so fucking slow. Hang on, y'all. The Warrior of Light is coming, buddies. I'm a-coming. I'm a-coming. Damn it. Someone interrupt him. Thank you. I've been playing this content for what, 3 years now, 4 years now, and I still don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing here. What the fuck? That was the least convincing fuck I think I've ever said, actually. That's bad. Good job having a dash ready, buddy. I'm probably supposed to be doing something here, aren't I? I'm gonna stand in the red. Wow, it really hates you specifically, Bryce. I'm sorry that the Hydra is such a hater. You don't deserve this. Well, surely it won't cast its party-wide on you a third time. That would just be silly. Alliance-wide, excuse me, of course. Whoopsie daisy! I was not far enough away from that. You know, I actually completely forget why a section of the Crystal Tower takes place here. And also where we are. Like, I realize we're fighting something of darkness, but isn't darkness just the 13th world? Fuck, what's the name for? Oh my god, I completely forget everything in this game, actually. I don't remember any of my lore. I hope that's going to be alright when I get back to Dawn Trail. I'm aware that Dawn Trail has a computer. That's about everything I know. But the computer was not hot enough. That is the second thing that I know. Or at least I'm vaguely aware of. We'll figure it out when we get there. Follow me to get into the belly. You got it, Chief. Where the fuck are you? There. I did not have all the mana I thought I did. I stood really in the middle of that. Oh, I think I was supposed to. I've done it accidentally. Isn't this nice? I wonder what this area is, like, in the actual world. Like, I wonder where we are. Presumably right above the boss is where I would put this. I mean, like, in the context of a game engine, where are we? I don't know. But we made him puke, so good job, everybody. I think that's what just happened. I really don't want to spend all my resources, but hey, buddy. I might as well. I'll spend one bout of it. I'll get it back by the time I'm supposed to. I really fucked that up. Don't worry, I have no intention of making fun of you for failing to dodge. Zero. I'm not even going to mention it. Your secret is safe with me, buddy. I really want to type a message to the one person who was standing out in the middle with a really big main character energy, like, go get him, buddy! We believe in you. Shout out to the one person who actually made sure to stand in the puddle in the back, carrying this alliance right now. Oh, by the way, Bryce, a message for after this alliance raid, I suppose. But did you see the Resident Evil Veronica trailer? I'm pretty excited for that. I am. It's incredibly funny only because I actually just watched a video essentially going over the plot of Resident Evil Veronica, because playing through Resident Evil 9 sent me kind of down a rabbit hole of me going like, okay, what the fuck is going on in this game? And kind of assuming that more of it would be explained. And it wasn't, actually. Apparently there was a lot of stuff that happened in Resident Evil 9 which you were just supposed to see and go, okay, cool, this is what's happening now. But you know, that sent me down a little bit of a rabbit hole of like looking up Resident Evil lore and watching a video over the plot of Resident Evil Veronica. So I got it just in time. I'm a little bit surprised, but incredibly delighted that they are actually going back and remaking all the remaking Resident Evil games beyond just like the numbered entries. Like, I would never bet on Veronica getting a remake next. I would have kind of hoped for like 0 or something in terms of the next, like, most, I don't want to say deserving, but most interesting possibilities for a remake. But Veronica is also sick. And I'm excited to play through it when the remake comes out. It might be the first Resident Evil game I actually bothered to buy and play, like, on release day. I think I was relatively close with 9. But even 9, it took me like 2 months to play and finish. You have reservations? Oh, really? What are your reservations? Hop into a voice call. Yap with me about Resident Evil. I'm interested. If you're interested. Tony is interested. Tony would like to know more. Let me queue up for normal raids. And this is probably going to be the last thing I do tonight before I go to bed. Hello.
Ahoy.
Ahoy, ahoy.
So, I will warn you, special interest activated.
Excellent. Let's go.
So I fell into Resident Evil at some point, and Code Veronica is kind of like the thing that did it.
Really?
Code Veronica is, in my opinion, it's the Banjo-Tooie of the Resident Evil series. It's kind of just like too large, and I think it suffers a bit from that, but it's also like got all sorts of like fun, cool stuff about it.
Question. Is Code Veronica the game where I know you play as both Jill and Chris, and I'm vaguely aware that like as you go through as Jill, items that you pick up are gone when you go through as Chris?
I forget if they have overlap, but that's more of a Resident Evil 2 A and B route sort of thing in the original version.
Really? I didn't know that.
I don't remember if they maintained that in the remake. They probably did for a few things, but it's a lot less interesting options. T2, I am a tank, right? Yes. So, yeah, what do we do?
Also, yes, Kurt, we are
What do we
during
do?
the list.
What route? What even is this? Something of the sun, Alexander something or other. Okay. Sorry, trying to remember how far I can actually like drag things, or if there's other groups of enemies or any of that nonsense.
So, Resident Evil Code Veronica did you say it was the game that got you into the Resident Evil series?
It's not like the game that specifically got me into it, but it's the game that like pushed me. Like Resident Evil 2 is the one that
This
actually
is
got
now
me
a
into it. It
special
was the
interest
first
for you.
one I played. Specifically Resident Evil 2 on the N64, which is, a technical marvel, etc., etc. You've heard me rant about that probably. Oh right, this one actually has mechanics. This will be fun. Nobody's using cutscene. So essentially, like, Code Veronica, just like some of the history on it, was originally going to be Resident Evil 3. But then PlayStation came back and said, hey, actually, when you said, when you signed this contract saying that we would get 3 Resident Evils, we want the numbered ones. So they had to rename what became Resident Evil 3 and give Code Veronica a subtitle instead. And that's why 3 is kind of a weird outlier in that it's a lot smaller and shorter of an experience and like a bit more experimental.
My vague understanding is that people got really, really mad when Resident Evil 3 Remake came out because Resident Evil 3 Remake was removed like somewhere around 30 or 40% of the content that was actually in Resident Evil 3.
Yes. In short, yes, it did. And a lot of that comes down to, modern game development costs are a lot higher. It's much more difficult to make a fully realized 3D playable space than it is to, make a pre-rendered background and some geometry stuff for it. I think I might die here. I forget. Nope. Hooray. But yeah, that's kind of the thing with Resident Evil Code Rock is like it was meant to be the next major numbered Resident Evil, and I think that's a big part of like why it's getting its remake finally.
So then why do you have reservations about it?
So in particular, what they showed off is a revised here you go, other tank. Hope you're not going to kill anybody. Hooray! We lived. All right, other tank, you can handle this one, please. I still have like 4 stacks of damage. Okay, fine. Anyway, like the original intro of Code Veronica, and like it makes sense why they would change it to be something much more simple and low key detective work as opposed to the high action octane Claire is doing a corporate terrorism sort of thing. But basically, like the entire point is Claire is supposed to be looking for Chris. And she ends up in like the Paris Umbrella Corps facility offices, whatever. And like in the original, it's very high action. She is, a badass doing badass things, fighting, like running from a helicopter and all sorts of nonsense along those lines.
Have fun. Yeah, have fun. She's just out in Paris doing fun vacation stuff. I did that when I went to Paris.
Doing what the French do.
Yeah, burning down the government.
Yeah. So this new retake on it, being so muted, so like chilled out, and like more quiet detective-y time, and she like finds Chris's apartment and then just gets cartoon like Looney Tune opens the door. Hey, Tank, you can have this. I don't want it anymore. She gets, Looney Tune knocked out.
Well, she gets like grabbed.
Yeah. But like, it's just like so. I don't know. It feels like she fell for a Looney Tunes, like, hey, look over here, sort of gag, of just like opening the door and looking out and not like being really. You want to be behind the ice, by the way.
I mean, Resident Evil Veronica is so horribly goofy.
In a lot of ways, yes. And I do have like a personal headcanon joke thing with a bunch of friends back in high school or whenever the hell that was. That essentially it was all just like a bad Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And I'm not going to go into it because it's been forever since I remember any of the jokes and also mild spoilers, etc. But like, it was a very silly. It's a very silly game.
It's a 20-year-old game.
Yeah, like it's a very silly game with a lot of silly ideas, and like one of the things that I've when did I talk about this? Was talking about it on my stream to nobody in particular at the time. Like there was somebody that was excited that they got some Resident Evil. I went off on a tirade because again, special interest activated. But like with Code Veronica in particular, it's like the whole point of the like Claire doing things is that she's looking for Chris, right?
Sure.
And at a certain point,
at the very
she
start,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like at a certain, basically she gets nabbed and grabbed in, a more high octane, there's helicopters shooting at her, but she does explode a good chunk of like, Umbrella Paris office because, Claire's a badass. But she still does get captured and sent off to Prison Island, which, zombies happen because it's Resident Evil.
It's pretty inconvenient, yeah.
So while on Prison Island, eventually she finds like a computer that's hooked up to the internet, and she's like, great, I can email Leon and tell him to tell Chris where I am. And like, again, the whole point of the game is that she's trying to find Chris, that she doesn't have contact with him, but now she can just email Leon to email Chris. And
then that's kind of interesting from the perspective of, like, in the original Code Veronica, from my understanding, Jill straight up doesn't know where Chris is. She's trying to find him. There's something kind of interesting in this trailer then for this game, in which it does kind of seem like she has tracked down / has some sort of communication with Chris and is trying to get to his apartment and then get stabbed.
It's like it does.
You
seem
could argue that it's
she's,
all a trap.
She's found it. Yeah, she's at this point like found Chris, and like how she has done it or like any of that nonsense. Curious to see how it plays out, but it's like I do have reservations. Like I just have reservations a lot about remakes these days because it's wearisome. And I really just like the thing that would make me love these remakes outright, no questions asked, no reservations, is if they included like, hey, and also you can play the original game. Just package a ROM, package the old CD contents, and just do the thing.
I mean, so with remakes, I have bounced back and forth a couple of times. Kurt, what's your character name? Never mind, go on without me. Oh. What happened?
You'll be missed, Kurt.
We'll miss you. Oh wait, fuck. I don't want that. No, I do want that.
It might be that we're on Cactar and traveling to Cactar is tricky.
Do you have to be on the same world? I thought it was just the same data center.
Same DC at the very least. You could do cross-world party, which opens us up to like the rest of the data center, but you do have to at least be on the same data center. And
So here's my perspective on remakes. And Resident Evil, I think, is one of the franchises that are the best of it. I think Resident Evil 4 Remake was a smash success. I think Resident Evil 2 Remake was a smash success. I think Resident Evil 3 Remake was fine. And I thought RE9 was also good. Is it a remake? No. Is it a remake? Kind of. But my opinion on remakes in general is I need them to decide what camp of remake they are in. There's the remake, which is a remaster, which is a graphics remaster, and then otherwise the gameplay is relatively untouched, which, you know, I respect as like this is a way... I respect, even though games, I love the fusion that games are between like game designers and art, with artists, with level design, blah, 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 with technical ability. Remasters are typically just, in my eyes, art only on the artistic side, but I still respect that, and I respect ours quite a lot, so I still respect remasters.
Mm-hmm.
There's remakes, like I'm going to say Resident Evil 2 is like the shining example of a remake. Resident Evil 2 is probably the best remake only because it takes the original as like a great starting point with like the concepts of what it's going to be pretty fleshed out, but it's not holding itself to the original game on the absolute tightest possible line. I respect remakes that go, we are going to remake the original game and reevaluate what we're doing and twist mechanics and like maybe rearrange story breaks, but like you can tell the lineage that we have.
Yeah, I do agree with most of that take. I'm trying to think if there's anything in particular that I don't agree with, actually.
The number one thing that bugs me about remakes / remasters is when they don't really know where they are and they fall kind of in the middle, where they are like 90% a remaster, but they change some small core things that make the game not fundamentally different, but noticeably different. And it's just like, this is okay. I respect what you were trying to do, but just a straight remake would have been probably would have been something that I would have been like more into, like making the old game accessible.
Yes. I definitely have issues when it comes to games that like when it is that here is a remaster that is almost like a one-to-one, but we've changed like one little thing just because. That does drive me crazy. That said, I do think like the Dark Souls HD brush up because it's almost entirely exactly the same as, you know, original Dark Souls, minus the, you know, the original patch didn't have like the warning about, or like the hey, come back here. The original like 1.0 Dark Souls had some mechanics changed in patches, and, you know, the original version of like the HD, we'll call it a remaster because I think that's what they call it, does, you know, include the patches that had happened. So
it sounded like you really wanted to argue about Resident Evil 2 Remake being like a shining example of a remake.
So I do have some issues with Resident Evil 2 Remake that keep it from being perfect for me. Something that is lost between the games. The original has a much more interesting and fleshed out B route for the characters. And that is just something that we lost to largely development cost of. You're making these, like, the RE engine seems to be really incredible, really powerful, and makes really, really, really pretty graphics, but, you know, you gotta make very, very pretty graphics to go in it, and that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and all that other stuff. So you just can't have, or like you could, but like it becomes, you know, drastically more dev time and dev costs and all that other stuff, to include a lot of extra areas that you would only see in like a character's B route. So there's a lot more like crossover along the main routes, whereas like the B route was a very much more unique perspective on the events. So it's like I miss that in playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, but at the same time, like I understand why we don't have that, and it's only hurting it because it was one of my favorite aspects of the original.
I mean, yeah, that does. Like, I didn't play the original Resident Evil 3, so, and I haven't played the remake either. Actually, like I just don't know how those. Oh, goodbye. I don't know how those games go as much, but for me, when Resident Evil 3 Remake came out, and everyone was really upset about the missing content, that was essentially the perspective I had of like, okay, this sucks, but like, you know, I guess they had to deal with the fact that they are rendering a giant 3D city now, so that must have been very difficult. Then again, I'm sure that if I played the original, I would have been a lot more mad about it. I did not have enough of a dog in the race.
Like, between the two, Resident Evil 3 is very, very different from its original format.
How so?
So, original Resident Evil 3 had a lot of... It essentially had, like, those adventure game sort of moments where it's like, oh, here's two choices. You have to decide, do you want to do a thing right now, or do you want to do this other thing? And, like, that kind of determines, like, certain areas that you go to, or, like, whether or not you fight Nemesis early on, or some other small like adventure game route sort of changes, where it's like, you know, overall the narrative is going to branch just a little bit, but like not to an extreme degree. So there's that. Nemesis seemed to be a bit more of a... He had more areas that he could be free roaming in, I think. And again, like, this all comes down to development costs, and like all of the areas where you put Nemesis, you have to have all of the like interaction points and like animations and everything that Nemesis can do in those areas.
There's a lot of invisible extra costs.
Yeah. There's just so much more that goes into that than it would have in the regular old PlayStation days. I think part of like Resident Evil 3, it seemed like they were also kind of experimenting with the like trying to do a fast turnaround for that game. Dang it, just pop burst. Because like I think. Was it only like a year after development? Trying to remember when exactly Resident Evil 2 came out versus Resident Evil 3 Remake. But yeah, it was one of those things where, like, I think they were trying to experiment with a fast turnaround, so they may have erred more on the side of like, we want to get this game out fast than we want to make sure we include all of the things that were in the original. And like the Resident Evil 3 was already a short game, so like the lack of the clock tower section, you really feel it as just kind of like a chunk of this game is just missing.
Yeah, that's all fair. Yeah, I know. For me, I'm always more generous about mistakes or shortcomings in games, just because
Yeah, absolutely.
I making games is hard. Making games
Surprise.
is very, very difficult. Who would have known?
Games are made on unicorn farts and duct tape, and the duct tape is old and hardly holding together.
And the unicorn farts are actually horse farts that the boss reassures you is just
We
as
don't
good.
like. That's why the duct tape's already used. We use that duct tape to hold the horn on the horse to call it a unicorn.
So a horse walks into a bar, and up a
So a
management
horse walks
goes,
into a
"Can you
bar,
make
and a
this
bunch of
into a
game developers
unicorn?"
Yeah.
No. And then one designer is like, "Okay, listen, I know it's a horse, but like, can
What if it
you,
was
as
a
a
dog?"
programmer, turn this into a unicorn?"
The one designer is asking, "Hey, what if it was a unicorn?" And then management comes down and says, "Hey, but what if it was a dog instead?"
And then you, as a programmer, go off on your own route, deciding that everything would be so much better and easier if everything was actually a cat instead. And they'll see as soon as it's done. It'll just take 3 more months of development time.
You have given me a horrible idea of redoing the horse video, but it's game design meetings.
I did a PowerPoint presentation I was really proud of for a PowerPoint party about game development, which just went through art, production, audio, hang on, I'm running through my old like school projects and stuff. It was programming, design, art, production, and audio. And just running through why each job was the most important job in game development. And I always love that PowerPoint. But just going through each section of game development and explaining why it was important, and also, more importantly, why they thought they themselves were the most important job, was a delight. Game development is hard.
I'm just going to point out, PowerPoint party.
Yeah. A PowerPoint party, essentially, you have a bunch of people, and you're just like, hey, I didn't organize this. This was one of my friends. That's a lot cooler than me. But they invited me to it, and the central concept is that everybody picks a topic that they care about, and they make like a 5-minute PowerPoint explaining the topic that they care about. I did
Scanning this.
game development and all the different aspects that go into it. Someone else did like the plot of Guilty Gear. I think somebody did like it's hard for me to remember. This was years ago at this point. I won is the important part. It wasn't a competition, but I think that I won that PowerPoint party.
But yeah, redoing the horse video is just like, okay, so a horse walks into a bar, and then upper management asks, "Hey, but is the horse allowed in the bar?" Okay, yes, there's a sign in front of the bar that says that the horse can come into the bar. Okay,
No, that's
so the
definitely
horse
QA.
walks into the bar, and the horse is allowed in the bar. What type of bar is it? It's an old-timey saloon. Does it have to be an old-timey saloon? Yes.
And that's the callback during the entire video. Every
Just
minute
do that.
somebody goes, "Does it have to be an old-timey saloon?"
Oh, just have like the corporate overlord guy that's in there asking just the worst, dumbest questions.
No. The
And
the
that's
video
why
is
the
like
video
4
is-
times. Somebody goes, "Does it have to be an old-timey saloon?" And then the end of the video is, "So a horse walks into the management just informed us that it has to be a space western cowboy bar."
So the space marine horse walks into, actually no, it's a dog now.
I have one
Okay.
more daily. Let's do a trial. Also,
We need
I
to
will
get you to
never
unlock front lines.
I will never auto skip cutscenes. I'm far too much of a what's the word? Idiot. What's the word for when you let your emotions rule your decision making? It's not semantical. It's semantical isn't a word. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It only always skips one you've already seen, but what if I want to watch them again?
So
I will
if you would like
never-
to unlock Frontlines Roulette, I will warn you, Frontlines is an absolute clusterfuck.
Listen, I have been informed that PvP is a great way to do speedy leveling.
It is. It is your... It should be somebody standing in front of your Grand Company.
I just don't.
Oh wait, no, they're at the airship landing. Not... They're at the airship landing? Okay. Or is that that's the steps? Where does it start?
I just don't want to do Frontlines. I mean, I think I unlocked Frontlines to my understanding. I remember going to the island and it explaining to me that PvP has different buttons than PvE. And my brain's going I don't want to learn different buttons, and then walking away because I was scared.
Yep. Well, I will tell you, it's all made up and the points don't matter. Like, unless you get like one person who is really, really running the show. And even then, whether or not people listen to him.
It would probably be more interesting than running dungeons again, and it's only going to get harder to level as I get closer to 90. It already took me basically 10 hours to do 10 levels. I don't want to do that for the rest of all these levels.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that you could do is start unlocking the society quests, but that is a little bit more involved. But those dailies are worth a good chunk of levels. You're up to the level where I think your hunt bills would actually be a decent chunk of experience.
My pardon?
So hunt bills are a thing that you unlock at some point, and you pick up basically little notes of, hey, kill this monster in this random chunk of the world. Kill 1 to 3 of them, and it's actually like a pretty decent chunk of experience. I don't remember if Stormblood, like, what level are you? 60, which would put you at... You could do Stormblood ones. I think the Stormblood ones is where it becomes like an actual valid source of experience. I might be wrong.
I should probably... I mean, I'll do my... This Tuesday, since I'm now committing myself to actually doing regular streams again, so that I finish Dawn Trail within 3 months instead of 3 fucking years of my life. Wait, no. Back here, right? Do I not want to be over here? Yes, I do want to be over here. I'll commit Tuesday to being like, hey, I'm gonna...
Unlock some things.
I'm gonna do Frontlines. I'll try it out. It scares the shit out of me, like...
People will occasionally yell of like, hey, pay attention to the map, or, you know, fight the other people, and every time they do, all it does is it makes everybody like kind of move into just the worst position possible and get pinched by the other team.
My big thing was always like, man, I don't want to learn 2 sets of buttons. Yeah, like, I'm learning how to play Red Mage enough in PvE. Do I really have to learn how to play Red Mage in PvP as a completely different experience?
Yeah, that is certainly an aspect.
But, I mean, to be honest, I enjoy PvP games enough, it probably wouldn't be that evil. Man, I want to play until I get to 64. I'm at about 2/3 of 63. Are you good for a little bit more?
Yep.
Kurt's good for a little bit more? Alright, let's run it. It can't be as bad as it can't be as bad as Kugane Tower. Not Kugane Tower, the Summerfest Tower. Kugane Tower was relatively fine. Thankfully, the PvP buttons are only like 10 buttons. Is that true? Does PvP
Yeah, it is.
not
It is
get
a
more-
much smaller set of buttons.
Does PvP... Oh, that actually makes sense. PvP doesn't scale with level, does it?
Nope.
That makes so much sense. Oh, I never thought about that aspect of it before. That makes me a lot more willing to try it out, actually. Like,
I will also note that the PvP combat designer is the person that's in charge of like the big rework for like all of the jobs.
I mean, yeah.
So
That's good.
nice little 3-digit score there on health, Kurt. Excellent HP golf's play.
If you die, we can just make fun of... Wait, was Kurt the one who wanted to do a speedrun?
Yes.
Oh, God. Unfortunately, that's probably not going to be able to happen until an event happens that I can't talk about. But not for, like...
Until the cows come.
Y'all will know. I mean, I get Christmas. I get a Christmas break. Maybe Christmas.
And by then there will be the cross what was it, regional matchmaking?
Now that'll help since we'll all have to go into different data centers.
Well, like at the point of regional matchmaking, it won't matter because
Oh, fuck. We're gonna submit and they're gonna be like, did you wait?
it's going to be like we submit and then we have to ask the question of just like, hey, so how do we categorize this now? Because we may have played on different worlds and we could have played on different data centers, but also cross-regional matchmaking. Like, we might want to ask them ahead of time, actually, for once.
If we actually plan on doing it and regional matchmaking starts coming up, we can ask. But it'd be very funny to be like, hey, quick question for like 8 months from now.
Yeah. So I have considered like popping back into that thread they had with us and just like, so regional matchmaking.
For context for everybody, when me and Bryce did the speed run and the second speedrun race, the first speedrun race there wasn't really an issue, but after the second speedrun race, they messaged us and were like, hey, we recognize that like 99% of this was done separately. However, at the end here, this like really awkward stuff happened where like you both joined the same DC after swapping off of it, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, we're counting that we'll accept this, but you're gonna have to go into co-op instead of
Free
single
world
player.
record, baby. Yeah.
Which was, yeah, we are now the world record holders. I haven't checked if that is held, but
Yeah.
we did essentially get a free world record because we were the only two non-XP boost 2-player co-op category. So, you know, we were the only two dumb enough to do that. Good job, team.
Yeah.
So yeah, if and when we do the next speedrun race, which Kurt might join us for,
Yeah.
we can just
Then we
find
have to plan
21
out.
other people and do a giant co-op run. I would be so fucking down. I miss organizing the big events, like the Fall Guys event and the TF2 event.
I do think Calvi had mild interest in maybe doing a co-op run, like an actual legit co-op.
Doing it.
Lost his head. He's like just becoming untargetable.
Running it 4 players.
Yep.
That would be really interesting, only because the beginning route would be like, all right, we all have to do our things separately. We all have to worry about, like, well, we probably wouldn't have to worry about the shame of not being a white mage or anything, because none of us would get our secondary jobs.
Oh, that's a scary thought. But yeah, that could play out.
There wouldn't be as much shame. It would just be really, really, really fucking hard.
Alright, this is where they make me stop, right?
Good luck, Kurt.
And they've got stun.
Good luck, Kurt.
Much more.
Just watching your health bar drop, and I'm like, Kurt, you got this, buddy. Yeah. I do need, like, an excuse to organize a big event again. Unfortunately, I think I tried a couple of times, like, oh, I wanted people to be interested in doing Titanfall 2, but I just wasn't able to find enough people that were, like, interested in running something like that.
I know you had, enough people's worth of excitement for it if you could have just gotten, like, Viz on the line. But...
Oh, I didn't... Yeah, I mean, I think I poked Viz, and Viz, I think, had some interest. I don't remember exactly, but it was just straight up just... I wanted to know that I would have enough people before I started. Because the absolute worst thing that could happen with one of those things is being like, alright, let's run it, let's do it, or whatever. And then... Yeah. Like, you start the thing and, like, there's, like, 5 people. It's hard because, like, if you want 12 people, you need to invite, like, 16.
30.
You need way more people than normal. But I learned a lot from... Am I in danger?
Nah.
I learned a lot from the Fall Guys event. I was really happy that I set up ahead of time that Calvi was going to be the backup. After that completely broke. The TF2 event was a lot of fun. I still regret not actually picking my maps. Goodbye, everybody. It's been fun.
Goodbye.
You'll be fine.
I don't think so. The TF2 event will always be the one regret of, like, somehow I forgot to actually go through and pick the maps before I ran the event. Because I was just like, well, I've been playing recently and I have nostalgia for, like, these maps and stuff. And it's like, no. If I ran that event again, none of the maps we played would be maps that we played on. Play on in the second event. Like, I picked some bad choices.
Wait, did we not jump in a pool? Did they added a bridge? Do you no longer? There was
I
a swim
think this
pool,
is the
right?
same. This all feels familiar.
Yeah, no, there was, like, after that boss, there should have been, like, a little jump down.
You know what? I believe the person who's probably run this like 50 times.
There's a bridge there now. There was a hole here. Going full Silent Hill 2.
They were. Damn it. That would have been a really funny joke they could have done in the Silent Hill 2 remake. They cut some content and they're just like, there was a clock tower here. It's gone now.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that's kind of what the Resident Evil 3 thing feels like. Like, there's just, like, a lot of, like, small... Like, I say that Resident Evil 3 was small, but, like, every time I think about it and then think about, like, the missing areas, it's just like, oh, yeah, this went on for a while. There was a lot of stuff here that is just not there now. And, like, again, I understand. Game development is hard. Hope streams, unicorn farts, duct tape, all that jazz. But, like, at the same time, it is just kind of a bummer that, like, as much as I feel like the Resident Evil 2 remake did such incredible justice to, like, the old Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 remake does feel like it's just missing a lot of what made Resident Evil 3 special. I say this as somebody who doesn't even like Resident Evil 3 all that much.
It's no Code Veronica.
It certainly is no Code Veronica. Code Veronica sure is. Code Veronica is a fascinating mess of a game. And, like, I've been like really tempted to replay it in recent years, and if I had a job, I would probably buy any of the Resident Evil things on Steam, um, and enjoy those instead of considering dragging out my GameCube.
I'm just enjoying this image in my mind of like, oh yeah, so you like Code Veronica, right? You think it's really good, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Those are two separate statements that you made.
Kind of, yes. It's like Code Veronica is a mess, but like messes are kind of better games than perfect games, in a way.
It's interesting. Did you ever play Zero?
It's like, yes, I really should replay because I remember like almost nothing about it aside from getting really, really screwed on like the just having a really rough time with like the Scorpion boss. And I don't remember like much of it, if anything else past the Scorpion boss, which is like the first boss on the train before you get to like the place where there are leeches, and like that's the entire point of the game is leech monster man, etc., etc. But it was interesting. I would also probably describe it as a little bit of a mess, but like it's a really fascinating idea, and I miss that era of Capcom being able to like experiment with interesting ideas because game development costs were, not quite so ridiculous.
Even that, like Resident Evil is kind of famous for making that decision of pre-rendered backgrounds, not just because you could make it look better than expected, but also because it was easier to make than an actual environment.
Mm-hmm.
I am still a little bit surprised that it actually didn't end up being a Resident Evil 1 remake. I think that was my next bet, but only because I didn't think that they would actually go through and do the I don't want to call them the spin-off games, but I do really want to call them the spin-off games.
So much loot to roll on.
Did they spawn a fucking fake-ass loot chest at the end just so that I would run into it and turn into an old man?
They put it there just in case you wanted to be old again.
Alright, well, I've successfully leveled up, and I unlocked Resurrect. Nice!
Oop.
I was thinking to myself that I really should get used to casting Swift Cast as long as I don't have Resurrect, because technically it's just like a worse form of acceleration. Like, it is actually would actually be a really, really nice tool to use when I'm under level 64, I guess, as like a thing.
Yeah,
but I never get used to that rhythm. Oh well.
It's very much like if you can use Swift Cast to make that extra DPS, then it's always nice to squeeze that in. But
you can use dual cast on Resurrect as a red mage.
Yep.
Oh shit! Then damn nice.
I was going to go blue mage and explode myself, but that's too much trouble.
So for now, 10:50 p.m. I got to level 64. That will be it for me leveling today, and I will be back on Tuesday at the regularly scheduled time to deal with the first two Red Mage quests and my first foray into PvP. But for now, thank you very much for yapping with me about Resident Evil Bryce. Thank you very much for joining us, Kurt. And I will be back on Tuesday. Bye, stream.
Bye.
Bye.